Okay. I leave you here and journey on, and if I never more return, farewell.
Martin Delany finally gave up on America. His expulsion with 2 others from Harvard Medical School, just because of skin color, convinced him that the power of reason and merit alone did not in fact determine the country's esteemed leaders. So, scraping together just a few $100s, he rented a crew and ship to go back to Africa, where his grandfather Shango had returned several generations before. His critics, including Frederick Douglass, were legion. "You must stay here and fight for freedom," they told him. Delany certainly reflected on his already long life, a long road as one of 5 children in a freed family in Charlestown, Virginia, and after that fleeing because they illegally learned how to read, followed by the many years as a physician's assistant in Pittsburgh and editing 2 influential newspapers. Most of all, perhaps, he remembered, as he gazed at the sperm whales that had wandered into those southern latitudes, of the day he was walking the road to Pittsburgh in 1829, deciding, with his head filled with books and images of pharaohs and Africa, of making this pilgrimage in reverse, back to Africa.
The arrival of Martin Robinson Delany in Liberia is an era in the history of African emigration, an event doubtless that will long be remembered by hundreds and thousands of Africa's exiled children. Persons from all parts of the country came to Monrovia to see these great men.
Ridiculed and ignored in America for speaking, embraced by thousands here for speaking. How strange.
The regeneration of the African race can only be affected by its own efforts, the efforts of its own self, and whatever aid may come from other sources. And it must, in this venture, succeed as God leads the movement and his hand guides the way. Face thine accusers, scorn the rack and rod. If thou hast truth to utter, speak, and leave the rest to God. But we pushed on to Abeokuta.
Africa taught Martin Delany its mysteries.
The principal markets to see all the wonders is in the evening. As the shades of evening deepen, every woman lights her little lamp, and to the distant observer presents the beautiful appearance of innumerable stars. But in the entire Aku country, one is struck by the beautiful clear country which continually spreads out in every direction.
Africa also taught him its nightmares.
I read August the 13th in the West African Herald.
King Dahomey is about to make the great custom in honor of the late King Gezer. Determined to surpass all former monarchs, a great pit has been dug which is to contain human blood enough to float a canoe. 2,000 persons will be sacrificed on this occasion. The king has sent his army to make some excursions at the expense of some weaker tribes. The younger people will be sold into slavery. The older persons will be killed at the grand custom.
Whole villages are taken. Farewell, farewell, my loving friends, farewell. The jasmine smells of Africa are tonight less fragrant than my scented memory of soft, honeysuckled summer's night breezes in Virginia long ago, and waking to the mockingbird,